Nice. Nice job.
There's so many things that De'Aaron Fox does well. And we talk a lot about his scoring and his ability to get in the paint. Earlier, we saw the dump-off pass from Alex Len, and that opened up the little shot for him right there.
What's going on tonight? I'm in the house watching Sacramento and Cleveland. Saw a damn good Boston game. Just so we clear, the New York Knicks got the second best defense in the league this season. Second best. And they got smoked in the second half. 100% handle. So, King Josh, what up, brother? How you doing tonight? Good? Word. More times than not, going to end up in a situation like this, where the big is going to throw that hip out a little bit. That's at the top of the key where everything's going on. That's an offensive foul, 100%. I did not get a glance at that. I did not get a glance at the Bucks Chicago game. No, I didn't. And I didn't because I was watching the Boston Knicks game. And I'm on record, and I'm not going to shy away from it, even when they go on their 2 or 3 game losing streak throughout the season. I'm all in on the Boston Celtics. I think they win an NBA championship. I think that Jason Tatum, I think he's firmly in the MVP conversation. I think it's 4 guys as of right now. I think it's him. I think Joker's at the top of the list. I think it's Luka. I think it's Tatum, and I think it's Embiid. I think all 4 of those guys, and whichever one you like the most. But we're not just going to go. What we're not going to do is we're not just going to go over who you like the most. We're going to go off of what we see. Joel Embiid, I believe I think he's leading the league in scoring. Again, for the second straight year, Philadelphia is at the top of the Eastern Conference. If I'm not mistaken, Jason Tatum is leading all small forwards in rebounding. He's in the top 10 in the league in scoring. I'm thinking about the rest of the teams in the league, and I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about who in particular is on my radar, and who I'm digging more than anything. Mm-hmm. I think Curry is in. I do believe Curry is in that conversation. You are correct, sir. 100%. I do believe Curry is in that conversation. The problem with Curry right now is that they're in 6th place, and in order for him to be serious in the conversation, like something has to happen significantly. And Fox is not putting on a clinic. I don't think he's even in the game right now. No, Fox is not in the game right now. So, hold on. I got a super chat I got to tend to really quickly. This is from Kelby. It says, Chilltown, miss you, brother. God bless. Hope you're well. What can the Clippers do to fix their problems? I say get another big because Zubac isn't working. But it's a mix of everything. I think that you're on to something, sir. And not just get another big. Not just get another big. Paul George needs to be better on the backboard. He 100% needs to be better on the backboard. What I'm seeing right now from him playing the 4, because I don't mind. What I don't mind is I don't mind this lineup of Westbrook, James Harden, Leonard, Paul George, and Zubac, but you guys are small on the front line. And if Jason Tatum can rebound at a high clip, Paul George being a better athlete, he should be able to rebound too. So I think that's one of the few things that I see that's glaring with that crew. One of the few things that's glaring with that crew right now. They just like I still don't think they needed James Harden. I think that James Harden is a guy that added him to the crew. I just didn't think that they needed him. And the fact that now you bringing him over and, this thing has to work because James Harden is on his way out, if we're being honest. The idea that James Harden could be a viable piece if this is a ridiculous failure before the season even ends is frightening. And the reason why is because this would be the fourth time in 4 years that he's been traded. Now you're becoming a journeyman. And when you get that label on you as a journeyman, especially when you get late in your career, it looks corny. It does. It looks corny. I didn't particularly like when Shaq got on Cleveland and then went to Boston. I didn't particularly like that. I didn't. I'd be lying if I said that I did, because I didn't. I understand that getting traded, I mean, that's part of the game. I get that, 100%. But I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. You're right, D. Reed. And I don't think he's playing timid, but I don't think that Evan Mobley is playing timid. I just think there's some uncertainty about him. He still doesn't look comfortable. Like, I don't think he's got the right mindset right now. Like, I think this dude is the best defensive player in the game. I thought he'd be better offensively this year. Yes, he did, King. He did. Yes, he did. I don't have any thoughts on Maxey going for 50 last night, except I would like to see him pass a little bit more, but he had it going. And when you're a guard and you got it going like that, I mean, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult to take him off the hook. He had it going, man, and I got no problem with that. Now, I don't think that this is an ongoing thing because Maxey does pass, unlike Jalen Brunson, who does not pass. The fact that he got going last night, I think that was a big deal. And what I don't want to overshadow, though, I don't want to overshadow how good Tyrese Haliburton was last night. As good as Maxey was, scoring the basketball, getting downhill, but I think he had 5 assists last night. I don't want to overstate how good, I don't think I can overstate how good Tyrese Haliburton was last night. How fast he had them playing, and not just how fast he had Indiana playing, how under control he had them playing. And I loved every minute of it. I thought that Tyrese Haliburton, I originally didn't, right? I originally didn't like, it's not that I didn't like Haliburton, I wasn't sure about him, right? I wasn't sure about him. Because I wasn't sure about him, I didn't watch him as much as I should have. Now that I'm actually watching Indiana, this dude looks like, nice job, big fella. Hold on. Evan Mobley for 2. I just thought that Evan Mobley would be better offensively. He's just really good around the basket, and I thought he'd be better in the mid-range. Anyway, Tyrese Haliburton is 100% on my radar, and whenever Indiana is on and I get an opportunity to watch them, I will be watching them more because he is awesome. He is 100% a legit lead guard. Legit. And I love everything about his game. Nice job, big fella. Well, Sacramento's doing a good job in dragging Mobley away from the basket to get him away from the rim so they can get downhill. That's how they run in their offense, and it actually looks really good. So, Ali says, chill. I have a feeling Ticket feels this way about Jamal Murray because it reminds him of Kobe with Shaq when people weren't giving Kobe his flowers. Who would I rather have, Haliburton or Fox? Well, depending on what my unit looks like. I would much rather have Haliburton on Indiana. I'd love Haliburton on Sacramento too. I mean, he is 23, 24 game. So if I had to, I'm a big fan of the lead guard. I'm a big fan of the traditional lead guard, and I love what Haliburton is doing. So if this is not about, for me, this is not about who the better player is. I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. This is not about who the better player is. This is about who the better fit is. And Haliburton is a better lead guard than De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is a better player. I think he's a better scorer. But if I'm starting my unit and I'm building my unit around a lead guard, it's Haliburton. 100% is Haliburton. Good shot. Bonus for 3. It's a bonus for 3. Good shot, yo. Andrew D talking about, I ain't gonna lie. Andrew, get out of my live, man. I'm not interested in nothing that you have to say to me. Nothing, my man. Beat it. I'm not interested in anything that you have to say, so beat it. When you say lead guard, OG, how difficult is it to differentiate a lead guard versus a PG who racks up assists, a.k.a. Trae Young? Well, Haliburton is way more efficient than Trae Young. And when I think about a lead guard, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a distributor. I'm thinking about a primary ball handler who play makes for others, whose offense comes secondary, but they can score. And they score at a high rate. So a guy like Trae Young, who takes a lot of bad shots, that's a detriment to his unit. Haliburton doesn't do that. Haliburton stays within whatever Haliburton gets. It's within the flow of the game, and it's within the flow of the offense. Add that to the fact that when he's in transition, whether he's in transition or in the secondary break, he's looking for his guys first. So that's a joy to play with when you're running with a guy like that. When you're running with a guy who you know for a fact is looking for you first. Like, he could get his offense going. No question about that. He could get his offense going. Good shot, D. Mitch. He could get his offense going, but he's looking for you first, because looking for you means opening up the offense so much more. Well, that's the same logic with Joker. That's why Joker's so good. And to answer your question, Kel, injuries is what the problem is with was what the problem was with Cleveland to start. New Zealand in the house. What's up, Baba T? New Zealand is in the house. Hey, just so you know, Baba T, I got a friend of mine. His name's Troy Bowie. I believe he works for the New York Knicks now. And he played professional basketball in New Zealand in the 90s. And I remember him telling me that he couldn't get his wife to move there because he would have never left. He loved New Zealand. He didn't like New Zealand. He wanted to live there, but he couldn't get his wife to stay. She didn't want to stay. Because if she would have stayed, he said he would have never came back to the States. He loved it in New Zealand. So, Channel Chill Town. Salute, brother. Salute to you. Because I'm not a front runner like you, Andrew G. And matter of fact, I'm not interested in this dude being in my life. I'm not even interested in talking to him. You a goofy, my man. I don't want to talk to you. Get back to getting with your minions, like you said, and being on my helmet. Don't talk to me. I'm not interested in talking to you. So anyway, Cleveland was beat up early in the season. Jared Allen wasn't in the lineup. Darius Garland had a hamstring injury early, so they weren't really able, right? They weren't really able to get any sort of continuity going on. Because they weren't really able to get any continuity going on, that's why you see the inconsistencies with this unit. I mean, the third game of the season, Donovan Mitchell sits out after having 43. So this is, I think yesterday, what's today? Today's Monday? Yeah, today's Monday. Saturday was I think that's the first time the whole crew was in the lineup with Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Jared Allen. Who am I thinking about? The shooter, the fake shooter, as a matter of fact. So, that's what made them. That's what made them viable, is the fact that they had their whole crew. And the fact that they had their whole crew, they looked different, and they looked different tonight too. This Sacramento team is a good team, so I'm not looking at this game going, yo, they got to get it together. No, Sacramento got a good team, and they got Fox back. Now, to answer your question about the lead guard, right? I think the lead guard / point guard, Max Strus is who I'm thinking about, by the way. I'll give it to you in a minute, Ali. The lead guard and the point guard are one and the same. Because the lead guard, that's your primary ball handler. That's your primary distributor. That's your best playmaker, I'd like to think. Now, you got some other guys who are good playmakers, which is why I'm glad that Boston bagged Drew Holiday. Because I didn't love Jason Tatum being my primary playmaker, my best playmaker. I didn't love that. I did not love that. So, Ali, to answer your question, what made me go vegan was I was exercising a lot, and let me rephrase that. I wasn't exercising a lot. That's a part of my lifestyle. You know, I exercise. I do what I can to keep myself in shape. Well, I wasn't feeling the way I felt like I should, and I was doing everything that I thought could be done to feel better, but it just wasn't working. And I watched this documentary on Netflix. It was called What the Health, and it gave me an insight on meat and processed meats and what it's doing, and what it would be like to, have a plant-based diet. So I'm thinking, let me check this out. Let me see what it looked like. And I did that. And in the process of me doing that, one second. Foul. In the process of me doing that, ended up dropping 25 pounds. My cholesterol went down like 80 points. And I feel great. I do. I feel great. And I got a plant-based diet. I eat a lot of brown rice. I eat a lot of wheat pasta. I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat a lot of green peppers. I eat a lot of, tomatoes, potatoes. I eat a lot of broccoli. I eat a lot of green beans. I eat a lot of black beans, stuff like that. I eat a lot of soy to supplement the meat, and it's been working wonders for me. So that's what's up. That's what's up right now. So, and I feel great. I do. I feel great. So that's what's going on there. Nice. Yo, is it me or does Donovan Mitchell look like a? Does he look like a running back? But when I look at him, T-Wade, to answer your question, the top 5 wing defenders right now, Jaden McDaniels, Alex Caruso, Drew Holiday, Herb Jones, let's see. I want to say Marcus Smart, but I think Anthony Edwards is creeping up on him. I think Anthony Edwards is slowly creeping up on him. Nope. Mm-mm. OG is definitely in that conversation. Good shot, Foxy. He's just so good, and he's just so good when he creates space for himself. Nice job, big man. I like that. And just so you guys know, the Twin Tower, the Twin Tower combination, it does work. Just so you know, Minnesota is in first place. I mean, not Minnesota, not in first place. Minnesota, they got the best defense in the league. They're a top 3 seed in the Western Conference right now. Wow, that's all. That was a terrible pass, Mobley. Shoot the basketball, brother. Shoot the basketball. I don't think Vando is a better wing defender than. I don't think he's a better wing defender right now than a guy like Anthony Edwards. I'm not sure that he is. Start Spo. Ty Lue won an NBA championship. Start Spo. Who's a better coach between Ime and Lue? I'm going to bench Ime and I'm going to cut Ty Lue. I am. Yes, he is back, Ben. He is back, Breezy. He looks good, too. Good shot. Why are they leaving Murray open? Murray gets a lot of open shots. And the open shots that he gets, these aren't open shots in sets. Like, he gets lost in translation. I mean, he gets lost in transition, I mean. Just take some of the pepper off of it, but it's right there, big fella. Right there. 2 bigs can coexist. 100% they can. Two bigs can absolutely coexist. 100%. Who was looking like the most improved player? Was looking like Cam Thomas. That's what it was looking like. But it's nice job, Mobley. This is the stuff that I'm talking about when I see from Evan Mobley. When I see a guy who, offensively, like 1 minute he gives me Chris Bosh vibes, and then the next minute I'm thinking, is he Rudy Gobert? And I'm just overstating him. That's what I'm thinking about when I see him, and I'm not sure what exactly it is. So, what's on your mind tonight, guys? That's what I want to know. What's on your mind tonight, guys?
Really well executed baseline out of bounds. now going into his pocket for that one. Nice cut by Domas. And yeah, you got it on the body, but it's like, yeah, I can't tell from that. Yeah, I can't tell from that angle. No, it's still in his hand. That's not gonna. Was the whistle blown before he released? And look, you can see the baseline official. You're gonna have to take a look at this. I can't tell from our replay.
Chat. I got a new computer, so I'm trying to figure out how to put the link in the chat.
Still in his hands. Well, he was going up into a shot, though, right when the baseline official put his arm up. Watch the light on the backboard.
All right.
It happened at the exact same time. He's putting his arm up to call the foul as the clock went off. Maybe 2 shots for only single defensive foul.
Yes, Alvin, and not only was Alvin Robinson the first most improved, he also was the second defensive player of the year. So that's a pretty big deal. So I got a call on line 1, guys. Hold on for a second. Let me get with this. What up? What up?
Yo.
What
Hey,
up?
man, first, I need some respect on my Mavs, dog. Y'all was talking real greasy on my Mavs on the panel all summer long.
Right.
And it looked like we really trying to do something this year.
Irv looked like he's kind of slowly coming into form with Luka. Luka is difficult to play with. I want to make sure we clear on that. When you running with a dude that's ball dominant and you don't really know where your space is with that dude, it's difficult to play with that dude. But when he recognized that you a baller and he can get you the ball and create his own space, that's what looks like's going on with Irv and Luka right now, where he looks like, yo, I could get this dude the ball and I can get off of him and I can let him rock. But the difference is I'm looking at the Western Conference. So initially when I said what I said about the Dallas Mavericks, I was looking at the Western Conference and how stacked it is. We're talking about a West where you could go from today, which is Monday, you the 4th seed, and you hosting a playoff series. Next Wednesday, you have a bad week, you in the play-in tournament.
That's what happened to us last year.
You in the play-in tournament. You could be in the and that's what I'm looking. It wasn't that Dallas is whack. No, I mean Luka is a top 5 player when he's healthy, and he's responsible for so much of that offense. I'm just thinking about what the Western Conference is, and I still wasn't sure about what we're doing between Luka and Kyrie Irving. Like, how is this dynamic going to work? I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like Irv went off last night, so it looks like it's starting to come into form. He's going to get shots for Tim Hardaway. This kid Lively, you probably should be charged with a felony because you stole him. Okay, you should definitely, because he looks like he's exactly what you've been looking for. Dwight Powell is not a starter on a playoff.
He a mini Tyson Chandler.
He might be better than Chandler.
You think?
I think he might be better than Chandler, because when I think about Chandler coming in, Chandler was raw. This kid is raw, but he looked like he know a little bit more about the game than Tyson Chandler did.
I get that because he was right out of high school.
Right. He looked like he know a little bit more about the game. So he looks like he's picking up on Luka's nuances, diving to the rim, getting in the mid post. He's still green, though. Don't get me wrong. He's still wet behind the ears. Yeah. But he looked like he's picking it up faster. Dwight Powell is not a starter on a playoff team. He's a rotation.
I don't even want him.
I think he's a valuable rotation guy. That's as far as I'm going.
We'll see. Hey, and one more thing I got to get with you.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki, top 5 mid-range game. I ain't hear you bring his name up. That little elbow, when he got to the elbow, it was all day on both sides.
With that fucking knee, when he picked that knee.
Yeah. Like, it was all day.
He's 7 foot.
It was all day.
And how you gonna stop that?
It was unstoppable. And that's the only other unstoppable move in NBA history is that fadeaway with the left leg. It was nasty all day.
You can't stop that.
He got 30,000. He got 30,000 points.
He does. I think he got 10,000 rebounds too. while I'm sleeping. I ain't sleeping on Dirk. Let me stop the nonsense. I am not sleeping on Dirk. Dirk is a top 5 power forward all time. So let's not make it sound like, yeah, Dirk was all right. No, he wasn't. He was way better than that. Let's cut the nonsense. All right. Dirk was awesome, 100%. So no doubt.
Hey, but I appreciate you, Chill, for letting me on, man.
Absolutely, brother. Good to talk to you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. What up?
Yo, Chill. What's going on?
What up?
It's different over there in Boston. Energy's different. Championship team, definitely. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts. What did you think about that game? Tatum going off in the fourth quarter.
I thought that Jason Tatum this time last year or 2 years ago, he would have went 0 for 8 on the long ball, and it would have completely affected his game. But the fact that he does so many other things now, and he's able to score in so many different ways, that's just expanded his game. And because it's expanded his game, it's expanded everybody else's game too. So it's expanded Drew Holiday game. And I feel like the trust between these dudes is starting to get better.
Chemistry starting to mesh together.
It's starting to get better. The fact that they replaced Marcus Smart, the fact that they replaced Marcus Smart with Drew Holiday, who basically, I do the same thing you do. I just do it better.
And he's taller and bigger. He's taller, heavier, more. I think he can guard at more versatile positions because of the fact that he's taller and has I believe he has a longer wingspan.
I just don't. I don't like this kid Brissett not being in the lineup. What am I missing?
Why is he not I don't like that. He needs to get more minutes. Get out there. This is our Grant Williams replacement. This is the guy that's going to show up, high energy, get the guys going. He's going to go in there, crash offensive rebounds, get on the backboard, get rebounds. I'm loving that. I think Tatum really started going off right after he got that tech. You saw he was mad, he was visibly mad.
Yes.
So as soon as he gets that tech, what happens? He immediately gets the ball, step back 3. And then goes to the corner another 3, and then he just starts going off in the fourth. So
and remember too that's the second best defense in the league he went up against tonight. By the way, I just want to make sure that we clear on that.
I believe correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Boston has the 3rd best defense. Yeah. I believe we got the 3rd best defense, and I believe the best offense in the league.
Mm-hmm. That's the second best. That's the second best defense in the league you went up against tonight. Second best,
and we still smoked them.
Handled them. 100%
so
handled them.
I want to know. I got a question. Chill. I have a correct me on this or straighten me out on this. I might have a misconception about LeBron James and about his career. So I think personally that LeBron should have made more all-league defensive teams in his career. Mm-hmm. Now, am I wrong for thinking that?
No, you're not.
I think he should have made more.
I got him down. He made 6. I got him down for 5 more. I got him down for 5 more. I got him for the 15-16 season when he had a higher defensive win share that year and a higher defensive plus minus that year. He had a higher defensive win share and a higher defensive plus minus. No, I'm sorry, the same defensive win share and a higher plus minus than he did in the 10-11 season when he was first team all defense. In the 16-17 season, he finished 5th in Defensive Player of the Year. It's the only time in his career that he finished top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year and did not make the All-League defensive team.
You talked about this in the 2017 season. He had more steals and more blocks than both Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, yet he didn't make the defensive team. That's insane.
They made the All-League defensive team, and he did not make the All-League defensive team.
And he had more steals and more blocks and played almost as many games as both of them.
Yes,
I believe he played. I got one more question for you, Chill. I got these 2 point guards, right? And I want to know, who do you think is better? So I got John Stockton and I got Chris Paul. Who do you have better?
Stockton.
Okay, so who is better in the mid-range?
Stockton.
3-pointer.
Stockton.
Offensive playmaking.
I think it was Stockton. As good as Chris Paul is with the ball, I think Chris Paul's a better ball handler, and I will give him the edge as an overall better scorer. But
that one-arm full-court pass is not easy to do.
And he did that in traffic. He didn't just do that that pass that you saw him do when he hit Malone on the run, that wasn't the first time. Like he did that in traffic on a Tuesday. One hand zipping it through the lane and hitting Hornacek for a layup, or hitting Greg Ostertag for a layup.
What about defense? I think Stockton peaked higher, but I think Chris Paul maintained his high defense for a longer period of time.
I don't think that. I think about during that time how good the defensive guards were: Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, Sidney Moncrief, Alvin Robinson. During that time, Joe Dumars. How good the defensive guards were during that time. And Stockton, who never made first team all defense as a point guard, but did make the all-league defensive team 5 times.
Which is wild. He averaged 3. How do you get 3 steals a game and you don't? How do you get 3 steals a game and you don't make first team all defense?
Not one time.
That's crazy. 3 steals a game, Chill, and no first team all defense.
Yeah. He's had 5. He's had plenty of 5 and 6 steal games and did not make first team.
Do you think we need to deduct points for Stockton on defense though, because he played in an era that was more physical than Paul did? Do you think we need to deduct points for that? Because back then you could like be really physical. Some hand checking was a thing.
Even if that's true, and I don't do the error tax. I'm not
neither.
A fan of
by
that.
the way, I'm just getting confirmation.
I don't really bother too much with the error tax, but in terms of physicality, Stockton was a ridiculously smart point guard. So if you take the hand checking away, and now what you have to do is be more crafty. Now what you have to do is you have to be more cerebral. I think Stockton would be just fine because he was great at shooting gaps. He was great at digging down on big guys. He was a good on-ball defender.
He was a phenomenal off-ball defender. He was a phenomenal
off-ball defender. So Stockton was one of the best, no question about that. So if I had to choose between the two, I'm a little partial to Stockton. I understand.
All right, Chill. You have a good one, Chill.
Talk to you. What up, Cal?
What's up, Chilltown?
What's up, brother?
Nothing much. I want to get into the conversation about the Clippers, the super chat that I sent. The reason I said that they needed to probably get another big, or might even trade away Zubac at this point, is because even like you could say to some degree, like, okay, the Clippers, they got like, I think they're like almost dead last in turnovers. They're giving up a lot of offensive rebounds. They're just lacking defense. And then from what I see is that, of course, getting Harden, you could say maybe Harden is the problem, but Harden is part of it. Even before the James Harden trade, the Clippers, even to a degree before they got Russ, they were always dead last in like rebounding and turnovers, all that stuff. Right. So, I mean, the James Harden trade doesn't really benefit much because you're giving up the pieces they gave up. It's like, yeah, they're role players, right, but most of them were like good defenders, even though I mean, Marcus Morris wasn't getting much playing time as he used to. So
they're the role players that you need for the stuff that you're lacking.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a guy in. First of all, your best rebounder is Russ. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's your best rebounder. That's number one. Number two, the rest of your guys, Leonard, George, you dudes need to rebound more.
Yeah.
That's another problem. Now, when we talk about offense, I didn't like the James Harden edition, not just because it's James Harden. I didn't like the James Harden edition because I felt like Russ offensively was figuring it out with both Leonard and Paul George. He was the primary ball handler that they had. He took the pressure off George and Leonard to not have to play make. He made for them to get other guys involved, like Zubac, who I would like to see him have better hands. Guys like Terrence Mann, Norman Powell. He made for those guys. So when you get into the meat and potatoes of the game, now you got guys like Leonard and Paul George who you can take the ball out of Russ's hands and give it to them now. Yo, finish it. I didn't like the fact that now we got James Harden over here. So now what we have to do is we got to involve him in that too. I don't think we need him. The problems that we have here, he's exacerbating that with his play. We got other problems, like the fact that we don't rebound. We don't slow people down. Our best rebounder is our point guard. That's a problem. So with James Harden, I think the biggest problem that everybody's having with him, and I'm having with him too, I mean, this is his 4th team in 4 years. He's becoming a journeyman now.
Yeah.
And it's looking, and for lack of a better term, it's looking goofy.
It is.
It's looking goofy. It is.
It is. And I wouldn't be. And I will say this: I will not be surprised that me personally, even when they did the trade, I didn't think it was not going to work at all because with James Harden, it's complicated because I'm going to say this: if it's still early into the season, so I'm gonna give it like at least like until like maybe 20 games of the season, and we'll know for sure. But I will say this about James Harden: I will not be surprised if he's done out of the league or nobody wants him probably within like after this season.
I keep hearing the logic that, let's say for the sake of argument, he gets traded at the trade deadline to a team because it's an expiring contract,
right?
So he gets traded. If this thing keeps going the way it's going, he ends up getting traded and to a team that's not really interested in him. They just want a salary dump, and they end up eating his deal, and then they cut him. Well, what kind of value does he bring to any other team if this was a disaster? You want him on your crew?
Heck no, absolutely not.
Especially if you're a playoff team. If you are, I don't know, Cleveland, you want James Harden on your crew? Because I know I don't.
Not on my team. No, absolutely not.
If you're Brooklyn, if you're the Knicks, do you want James Harden on your crew after what you just saw with him with the Clippers, who he demanded to go there, and it not only did it not work out, it was a disaster.
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody will want him.
That's that, and I don't think that this is a situation where it's a foregone conclusion, but I do think that this thing has to work. Which, by the way, Cal, what happens if this thing does work? Like, what happens if they actually figure what happens if they actually figure this out?
I'll answer that. If let's just say, okay, if they somehow start turning it up, like probably like, okay, they started slow, but then all of a sudden they turn it up, get to the playoffs, and they go on a magic playoff run, they win the championship. It will benefit. I'll just put the 4 players in, for example. It will benefit Russ, Harden, and Paul George, because all have a ring. Because there are only 3 players that's like are great sensational players, and they're ringless, so they win a ring. That boosts them individually tremendously.
Right.
For Kawhi Leonard, that solidifies you as like, okay, like you could probably put him in the conversation as like top small forwards of all time at this point.
I think he's already in that conversation.
Yeah, he already is, but he'll like expand it tremendously because it's the Clippers.
Right.
Yeah. And again, it's the Clippers, and you not only that, you're bringing a title to the Clippers, and you're getting a new arena. Imagine the money, everything. You boosts everything for the Clippers.
Right.
So if it does work, man, it'll be definitely something to talk about, because you have to elevate Russ as to like, okay, is he better than, let's say, Chris Paul and John Stockton?
Yeah, now we have a
serious conversation. He's about to pass.
We having a goofy conversation now.
Exactly.
Like a conversation that nobody really wants to have. Like, if Russ ends up on a Clipper team that wins the NBA championship, like, now we gotta have, okay, remember now, in the next year, in the next year or 2 years tops, Russ is going to be a part of the 25,000 point, 10,000 assist club.
Exactly.
That's only James. James, the only dude in that.
Exactly.
Now we're talking about a 9-time All-NBA performer. Now you want to add an NBA championship to his resume?
Insane.
Y'all dudes don't want to have that conversation.
They don't. Definitely want to have that conversation.
Y'all do not want to have that conversation. Y'all don't.
Right.
I know for a fact y'all don't.
Right. But it will elevate all 4 guys.
I think it would. I do.
All right. Sure. I got one last question, and I'm gonna let you get to the others. Do you think now Tyrese Haliburton, to me is an essential true point guard, in my opinion?
No, that's not your opinion. That's a fact.
It's a fact. That's a true point guard. And to me, because I was watching the game with my dad the other day, my dad was like, man, from the way he is, from his size to like how the length and everything, he said, Kale, you might think I'm crazy. He reminds me of a little like a mini Magic in a way, from the way.
If he was playing in the 80s, the way we talked about Isaiah, the way we talked about Stock, we'd be talking about him like that too.
Exactly.
The way he playing now, that's how we'd be talking about him. Think about when I see him, I'm looking at a better version of Derek Harper mixed with Fat Lever, and that's what I'm seeing when I see him. And it's a combination of those things, and it's incredible. He is not a poor man's Mark Jackson, Burner. He's better than that. He is not a poor man's Mark Jackson.
He's something special.
No, he is not. He is better than Mark Jackson. No way.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Absolutely. He's better than him. Yes, he is. 100%. Yep.
All right, Chilltown.
All right, Kel, you know where to find me at, brother?
Yes, sir.
No doubt. What up?
You already know why I'm here.
No, I don't know why you're here. Why you here?
Yeah, it's a few things. I ain't gonna let you get away with that shit you got away with, man. When you talked down about my Nets and we was missing 2 starters, and you talked about how we might lose to the Boston Celtics. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
They beat y'all when y'all had your 5 starters. So what you talking
about? No, they didn't. We was missing Claxton and
and they still, even if Claxton was playing, they still would beat y'all. They're better team.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to that in a second, bro. Actually, I came here, bro. I don't never ask you for a damn thing, but if come Friday, you better put your foot in their young asses, man. You hear me? You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mars Live and Legend of What. That's what I'm talking about. You know,
that's next Friday, not this Friday. That's next Friday.
Nah, that's next Friday. But listen, I'm a be there and watch it, bro. You bet. Don't fail me.
Oh, I'll be ready. Don't worry.
Don't fail me. Don't fail me.
I will be ready. Don't you worry about that.
All right. Listen, but here I came to bash all the light skinned players that you believe in as usual. But got one to bash last night. Goddamn, Anthony Edwards, man. Once again, he buried another light skinned individual. It just so happened to be Steph.
Did he bury him though?
I think in the fourth quarter he did. I think he buried him in their whole team and everything that they tried to come with. They tried to come with the antics. Draymond tried to come with the antics, man, and then do all these little things that he liked to do and stir stuff up, man. And then Chris Paul tried to come with his little roll on the floor antics. None of this, all the shit backfired. Basically, you got a foot put up your ass because the Golden State Warriors can't beat nobody of no significance. And I told people that, bro. And you make sure you tell Haley that and the rest of these Golden Fake fans, man, because I'm on their ass the rest of this year.
The thing I want to make sure I'm clear on is I dig the ball player that is like, remember Vander Holyfield when Tyson was trying to bully him and he was just making it clear that, whatever you say,
that's not happening.
Whatever you say, it doesn't matter because you know what? We got to get in the ring anyway, and you're gonna have to fight me.
Exactly.
So you could say whatever you want to say. You could get in my face and you can do all the hooping and hollering, but we still got to get in the ring and you got to fight me. So with Draymond last night, what you gonna do, my man? We still gonna have to rock. So I'm not running. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm not running from you, and I'm not gonna back down. And once he realized that, you heard all of that yapping, it shut up. It was done.
Basically.
That was finished.
Basically. By the way, you look clean too, man. I realize you done got a shave and everything, man. I see you over there, man. I
got a different camera.
You got a different camera? That's what that is. We got brother Chilltown in HD.
I got a new setup.
And 4K.
I got a new setup. So
new 4K setup, man. All right, everything is shining bright, man. The grays is coming in, all of that, man.
I'm trying to get it together.
Yeah, but definitely. But what I saw, listen, and I'm standing on what I said. Listen,
is Klay Thompson washed, Leaf?
Damn.
Now, I need to understand what exactly washed means, because when I think about washed, I think Chris Paul is washed. That's an example of washed. I mean a dude that what he used to be able to do at a high level, he can't do that anymore. Klay Thompson is still a starter in the NBA.
Yeah,
I don't think that's washed to me.
I think that's Klay Thompson being a starter is probably more so by like necessity than anything in terms of the Golden State Warriors. Listen, if they second best player right now as it stands is Chris Paul, then they got a big problem, because the thing is, Chris Paul is still somewhat effective as a bench player, but he is definitely washed as where he was coming from and where he is now.
He's not the elite guard that he used to be.
Obviously not. And I wouldn't expect it, and I wouldn't expect his little dirty ass to be that man in the year 19 any damn way. Klay Thompson, I don't feel like Klay Thompson is washed. I feel like he's overused. That's the word to use, bro. He's overused. And I reflect on when I was saying that because of the 5-year run that he basically had to be a two-way presence all the way up into that injury in Toronto, and then basically 900 something days later, basically coming back to a team that had Jordan Poole in front of him, and basically coming back into that, eventually winning a championship.
They didn't have to rush him though, because
they didn't have to rush him.
And
they didn't have to rush him. That was the good part. That was the good part about that. The bad part about that is his two-way skill, his two-way ability clearly diminished when he came back.
Right.
And it's probably getting even, and it's probably diminished even more now that we are in this time frame. But he's definitely not washed. I would say he was overused. That's the proper term.
Well, when we're talking about great players, though, Leaf, we're talking about guys who, all right, I don't expect you to be, I don't know, Sidney Moncrief. I don't expect you to be Alvin Robinson on the defensive side of the basketball. I don't expect that. But if we're talking about being a great player, a complete player, I don't think Klay Thompson was just a shooter. He was also really good on the defensive side of the basketball. And I don't want to hold that against him to say that he was overused. Like, that was part of his game. He was a defender coming out of college. He didn't turn into a defender in Golden State. If anybody should have been better as a defender, that's Steph Curry.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason why I feel that he was overused, because the defense, like you just said, if anybody was supposed to just turn into the defender, it was Steph Curry, and he never really did. The fact that Klay Thompson basically had to guard that matchup, the Kyries in the finals, and these other guards, the Russell Westbrooks, and Steph basically, and it's one of the reasons. Yeah, and Steph was able to roam scot-free and guard a corner shooter, bro. Like, it's basically one of the reasons why I say he overused. But you already know I bash Steph every chance I get, man. Like, you already know that.
I don't know why. I don't know why, Leaf.
You know why, bro? Because everybody knows my channel, and everybody. Listen, I stand on 10 when I say this. Everybody from that 2010s decade, where the superstars, 1 year stars, all of them was over fucking rated. And I excuse my language, man, when I say that, but they was all over damn rated, and I stand on that. But the skill set that they had that when they had to go to their plan Bs and they plan Cs, bro, they couldn't do it on a consistent rate. When I look at the players from the early 2000s, and what they and basically how they had to elevate their games year after year from coming into the league. When you think of the AIs, the T-Macs, the Vinces, the Kobes, how they had to elevate their games and do it quickly in a space where they basically had minimal space to work, and they had to figure out. And back then, you even said it, when you scored 27 back then, but you was pretty much the guy. You was pretty much the damn man, bro.
I get that. I do get that part, Leaf. But what I'm thinking about guys like Damian Lillard, Curry, Chris Paul, James, KD.
All
these
overrated.
Guys, no way. There's no way that these guys are overrated.
And you know why I say that, bro? Because the thing is, you what you're gonna do is harp on the production, and then the production, it looks
that matters.
I understand. I understand it looks good, but like, I harp on how the production is happening in the first place.
And who's the lead?
Who's the leading scorer in the league right now?
I think it's Luka.
Luka with 32, 32.9?
It's either Luka or Embiid. One of them two guys.
Luka or Embiid, right? Yeah, all right. So, listen, now that we could both substantiate from what our basketball knowledge is, we could both substantiate, bro, that Luka's 32 points a game this year is a whole lot much easier than Kobe's 32 or 35 per game back in 06. Can we at least say that?
I think that's fair.
Okay, then. So all right. So when I say that these players, when I say such and such is overrated, bro, like, I'm bringing something to the table when I say it.
That doesn't mean that he's overrated, though. I mean, like with the game is different. Leaf, I'm not gonna say that, Jordan's 33 a game. Okay, his 33 a game in 1988, or his 35 a game in 1988. If he comes into 2020 and he's averaging 40, or he's averaging, I don't know, let's say he's averaging 35 again, does that mean that 35 back then was overrated? No, it was just a different time. I'm still a baller.
It was a different time. But what I look at, it's a combination of multiple things, bro. It's the defensive resistance that you face, and the degree of difficulty of your makes and of your production, and degree of difficulty of when you go on the night and night, and the defenses that you face when you playing going through the Eastern Conference, and then you see a bad boys Pistons team or 86 Celtics team and things of that nature, and then you go and then you just substantiate from that, and then you go to the 90s where basically almost everybody is like secluded to 90-point games as a team, and then you basically still holding the float with 35 a game. The point I'm trying to make is, bro, that where the Kobe's and where the dead ball, what is known as the dead ball era, had to crawl, they basically had to walk. It's like me playing all Madden, and then my little cousin come in and play on rookie mode, and then he beat all the numbers, and then talk about how good he is, man, because he was playing on rookie mode. You had LeBron playing on rookie mode, bro, and it ain't nobody's fault but the NBA's, but which is why I piss on everything that the NBA do, man, for these players all the time. When I say they overrated it, it's a much, much deeper context. I could write a 10-page thesis on this shit and get an A- on it.
I would love to hear it, because the fact that you think that these guys are overrated, considering what the league was back then, and the fact that these guys expanded their game, like James expanded his game, KD expanded his game with the skill set that he had. That's what makes these guys great players. The fact that what I'm doing now, I could have done this 20 years ago. And I could probably do this 20 years from now. I could still do that. That's what makes me a great player. There's no way you can sell me that a guy like Kevin Durant at 6'10" with the skill set that he has 20 years from now with the league with a bunch of 6'10" to 7'3" dudes, which is what I think the league is going to be. A bunch of Wembies, a bunch of Chet Holmgrens. I think Kevin Durant would still scorch that league. Still. I think LeBron James would still destroy that league. I still think that Damian Lillard would do work in that league with a bunch of dudes that's looking like
you know what that's equivalent to? That's equivalent to you taking Jordan, Dominique, and everybody that you know and love from your era, and fast forward them into the next 20 years with the way that they were scoring back then. But at the same time, what we're doing is just taking them how that we know them, and then putting them in an era where there's more defensive resistance, where, all right, you basically had to be him to go in there and finish on contact, finish with three or four dudes in the paint, the way Jordan and Dominique was finishing and finishing. And that's not happening. Look how many breakaway buckets over the years that LeBron has gotten. Look how many one-on-one opportunities in the fast breaks that Steph and KD and all of these players, and James Harden. James Harden came in, and James Harden went from 28 a game, and then the next year just broke the league with a sidestep, shuffle the foot thing, bro, and then went to 36. And nobody never points it out. The only points person out, me. I pointed out time and time again, because these are the things, bro, that we understand, that everybody look at. This is innovation, man. No, I look at it, bro, like as they are allowing this to happen, and then they wait till the playoffs to start officiating and say, "All right, James, you can't do that, man. You did it during the regular season, but you can't." But it's okay. But it's okay. But when KD does the rip through, it's okay. When Steph does the push off and does all of these theatrics for a foul and flailing his arm.
Though, Leaf, that's the problem that I'm having with your logic. The game changes, because I can say the same thing about Shaq. Well, Shaq wouldn't be able to do what he was doing back then today. So does that decrease what Shaq did back then? Is Shaq overrated? No, Shaq was a big, and that's what big men did back then. Shaq would still come in the league today and still be able to do work. I don't think that he would play primarily on the box. Shaq did have a skill set. Shaq could throw the ball between his legs. Shaq could handle the basketball. He could do all of those things. Shaq could shoot in the mid-range. He could do all of those things. So his game would translate to today's game. Does he shoot the three ball? No, he can't shoot the three ball. That wasn't his game. But he could shoot in the mid-post, and he could shoot in the mid-range. So I'm not going to discount what these guys did back then and think that, that was then. James Harden pounding the basketball as much as he's pounding the basketball. He was the beneficiary of a system. Just like plenty of other guys are beneficiaries. Steph Curry was a beneficiary of a system. You know who else was beneficiary of a system?
Steve Nash.
Jordan was beneficiary of a system. Kobe Bryant was beneficiary of a system.
I think Jordan is the thin line between systematic and unsystematic. The reason being is because you the one that tells me time and time again Jordan was 38, 8, and 8 before and there was no triangling around, and not no time did you think he was the best player in the league. At 38, 8, and 8. This is what you 33, 8 and 8. 33. Like so. Yeah, my thing is the 38, 8, and 8 without the triangle, and the 4, 6 and 5 with the triangle, bro. The only difference is, man, now you're getting everybody else involved. You unlock Scottie Pippen, you unlock Horace Grant, you unlock John Paxson, and all these other players.
You unlock Jordan too, because now I'm getting different looks at the basket. I'm getting different looks at players.
It's much easier. Yeah, the buckets is much easier,
and that's part of the system. And ain't nothing wrong with being in a system, Lee. Like a lot of people look at, and this is what really, you know how you talk about guys being overrated and how much that pisses you off. You know what pisses me off? I got to listen to people talk about being part of a system. Yo, so what? I'm part of a system. You know who was part of a system? Brett Favre was part of a system. But in the process of him being part of that system, was Brett Favre awesome?
Yes, he was.
He was fucking awesome in that system.
Yes, he was.
Was Joe Montana part of a system?
Joe Montana was too. Yeah,
the West Coast offense was a system.
Offense was a system. Yeah,
and he was awesome in that system.
I think that, but what varies in the difference between basketball and football is that we all know that one player could come in right away and make the difference on the team, as opposed. I mean, not saying as opposed of football, because football, the quarterback could definitely come in. I know you're saying what CJ Stroud is doing, man. Like He's incredible right now. But I would say like
just really quickly, that coach in Houston, I can't tell you how important confidence. That coach put that battery in his back, yo.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I strongly believe that.
He got that boy believing he's the best quarterback in the game.
Yeah, yes, he does. And shout out to D'Amico Ryans as well. But I wanted to say when you have a guy like a Shaq coming into Orlando in '92, like listen, automatically just off the rip, like he's gonna make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to what you were. Now you give yourself a half court presence, man, like presence in the post, a floor runner, man, and everything that he was. When you have a guy like an Olajuwon, who you always talked about, he can make the difference. When you have a guy like a Magic coming into the Lakers, he can make the difference as the playmaker, as the lead guard type guy at 6'9", and having that ability. When you have a guy like Bert, like these are guys.
Now with the talent,
these are guys before the systems even
right.
coming in.
The talent is there, 100%. Shaq, with the talent that Shaq had, that talent was there. It got unlocked when he got with Phil, though. It really got unlocked when he got with Phil. As good as he was with Brian Hill, as good as he was with Del Harris, it really got unlocked when he got with Phil.
I want to get to
it got unlocked with the same thing with Magic. As good as Magic was coming into the league, that talent got unlocked when Pat Riley sped the game up.
And I want to get to my over exaggeration. Did you see the Philly game last night?
Oh, absolutely. I saw the Philly game.
Man,
I gotta listen to people talking to me about how actually cooked Haliburton. I'm thinking, yo, you clearly have no idea. I'm not even.
Hey, listen, look. I will say this. Listen, the best duo right now, you can argue, and this is an argument, even with Jamal Murray out and with the Lakers going through what they're going through in basically the Phoenix Suns having their struggles. As of right now, is there a better duo, a better 1-2 than Joel and Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Oh
yeah.
My God! Oh,
yes.
Not these. Come on. You didn't. Oh,
yes.
Bro, no. We talked. Hold on. Wait. But before you go, wait.
That two Scottie Pippen's logic that you're trying to sell me. That's a terrible comparison.
Look. First off, I haven't said that in a while, and that's only pertaining.
Even if you say it,
no.
Once in 6 months.
That pertains to what I know they're going to do in the playoffs, bro. Like, but that's a different story. But as of right now, Joel is averaging 31, 10, and 5, and Maxey is averaging 29, 7 and 5. I just wanted to let you know that. So that if you could find me another duo that was doing that, If you could find me another duo that was doing 31, like you probably have to go back to Kobe and Shaq.
No,
you probably have to.
You don't. How about just last season? I mean, Jason Tatum was 30-8. He was 38-4. Jaylen Brown was 27-7. Just so you know, Leaf.
In the first 10 games.
No. This was last season. This was just last
wait.
season.
All right. So he was Jason Tatum was like 31.
He was 31-8. Led all small forwards in rebounding. I think he was
31-8, and I think JB was like 27. Yeah,
not 27. Like he was 27-7. The only duo in NBA history to not make first team All NBA with both of these two dudes doing that was Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That's never happened in NBA history. Scottie Pippen was first team All NBA in 1996, and he was 17-8.
Listen, and praise up to Kelly Oubre, who got involved in the hit and run. But
he's actually up and around now. He is.
Yeah, he is up and around, but it's going to take him a while to get back. But as far as my Nets go, we basically got two different teams, and I saw it yesterday. But because the thing is, Ben Simmons is not coming back until Cam Thomas comes back. That I know. And this is something I don't know. It's in the organization and he done figured out how to finagle his way, bro. Like to where I could chill and then wait till some scores come back, whatever the case may be. Nick Claxton is back. I like the way he played yesterday. I like the way our bigs played yesterday. The shooting was absolutely dog water. Mikal shot too many threes. Obviously, man, I think he definitely got downhill more towards the end of the game. Obviously, because the Wizards. They basically was giving us the game. They was up 80-55 on the Raptors today, and they lost. So that like you already know what's happening in that. But we basically have two different teams. When we got Claxton in, he could defend. We can't crack 110 points. We got a good chance to win that game because we can defend, depending on who we playing. If we got Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas in, we could go 120 something, 100. You saw it, 120 something, 130 something with the Milwaukees, with the Dallases. But when it comes time to close the deal to the, as you say, the meat and potatoes, the steak and potatoes of the game, there's nothing. Cam Thomas is usually out of gas. Mikal has got a battle against somebody that's 10 times better.
Your mantra is going to be your defense, Leaf. That's it. Your mantra is going to be your defense. You got to.
Is it real? Is it really?
Yes. You cannot get into those 120, 125 games. You're not good enough to do that offensively. You're not.
I think defensively. We are good enough. I just don't know if we could get as many stops as the other elite teams could get as many scores because
sure you can. Wait. Stop right there. If I could watch the New York Knicks, because I don't think that they're that much better than you guys defensively. But if I could watch the New York Knicks get stops with Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein on their front line.
Right.
With Ben Simmons, Mikal Bridges, and Nick Claxton, you could get stops too. If I'm not mistaken, if last I checked, I think the before Cam Thomas got hurt, the 3 wins that y'all held teams to 100 points.
100 points, 100, 107. I think we held Miami to 107. We held
it was 100 and it was either 100
105. 107, 105.
On average, it was
on average.
An average of 103.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your mantra. If you can hold, and I've seen you do it.
Charlotte, we gave up 120, and we gave up 122 to Charlotte, but we was beating them when we had a shootout. But in terms, our real problem, realistically, against the better teams,
scoring.
No, not just that. It's rebounding. Claxton is not going to be able to outboard Milwaukee.
That's where Ben Simmons comes in at 6'10". He got
and that's what I said. That's what I said.
Mikal Bridges comes in. What you think the problem is with the Clippers?
But you missing one thing. They're not going to play together. Ben Simmons and Claxton, they're going to be on the same court together.
Yes, they are. You know why they're going to be on the same court together? Because when they're on the same court, your defense is going to dictate your offense. Your defense, you're going to speed the game up. We're not playing half court with Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges or Ben Simmons.
Chill town. Listen, I love
Claxton getting the ball off the backboard. You spitting it out to Ben Simmons, and we running and we getting downhill. We're not playing half court with those two guys on the floor.
Obviously not. Yeah. But the thing is, how fast are we with them? But like shit, I'm like,
have you seen Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons.
I've seen Ben Simmons,
he
but
looks like Ben Simmons of old. He does.
But no, he don't. He's not looking at the rim.
That's not the point. That's not the point. He he looks like the Ben Simmons of old athletically. The reason why he ain't looking at the rim is because he's still got to get that confidence back. That's where Jacques Vaughn comes in. But I gotta go, Leaf. Unfortunately.
All right. But listen, beat the hell out of them too, man. Don't play around.
No, I'll be ready. Don't you worry about that. I will be
all
ready.
Right, man.
100%. All right, brother.
Fail me.
No, I'll be ready,
man. Of course.
Yeah. I got a couple of super chats that I got to get to, and then I'm gonna wrap this thing up. So let's see here. My man Daniel Mason said, "Chill. What do you think of Ant-Man spanking Draymond in the fourth?" I think that we got a guy in Anthony Edwards that made it clear to Draymond that at the end of the day, we still gonna have to rock. So I'm not backing down from you. And once you find out that it's like standing up to a bully. When a bully punches you, what the bully is banking on, the bully is banking on you cheesing up. That's what he banking on. He banking on you cowering and running. That's what he banking on. But when he punch you, and then you punch him back, and then he punches you again, and then you punch him back, then he realized, oh shit, I gotta fight this dude. He's not prepared to do that. Draymond is exactly that guy. He's expecting you to cheese up. That's what Draymond is expecting. Draymond is expecting you to fold. And Ant didn't do that. You saw what happened. So I thought that was fantastic. 100%. FIFA, OG, your Giants better than the Cowboys take. It's aging well. No, it ain't. That shit is aging like milk that's been sitting in the sun all day. No, that shit is not. That shit is terrible. My goodness. My goodness. Will says, hey, Chill, just started to really get in the ball these past couple of years, and watching the panel and you has opened my eyes to the love of the sport. Always appreciate your takes and outlooks on life in general. You the GOAT. Thank you very much, Will. I appreciate you, brother. I do what I can. I absolutely do what I can. Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. Daniel sent me another super chat. He said, hey, Chill. And Chill, I know Dame always struggled early in the season, but should we be concerned? And Giannis has been returned to form this past week. Yes, he has. Now, again, you're talking about a basketball savant here in Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who just got together. So they're trying to figure out, how to play off of each other. And Dame doesn't start slow, but this thing is starting slow because I got to get myself acclimated to this is a new system that I'm playing in. I'm playing with a superstar for the first time. So I didn't do this in the past. I didn't have this in the past. So it's going to take some time to get acclimated to it. So I didn't love the fit, but I think it's something that as time goes on, I'm going to warm up to it even more. I'm already a Giannis guy as it is, and I dig Dame. I feel like this is something that it's just going to take some time to get. It's just going to take some time to get figured out more than anything. Let's see here. I got one more super chat from Marquavian Black. It said, respect, Chill. Jason looking tough right now. I said that I had him picked as the league MVP before the season started, and I'm still standing on that logic, and I will stand on that logic. I think he's a top 5 player in the game, and I'm still standing on it. So it's about that time for me. It's getting late. It was good to see you guys tonight. I will be back in effect soon. You know where to find me. If I'm not here, I'm on the panel or I'm on TikTok. And it's basketball season, guys. I will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely.